Happy Friday, Mountain Movers. This week was all about 2026 goal prep and our daily motivations. It is the last month of the year. It's December. Your days are limited, so you really got to make your days count. You got travel plans, vacation plans, time off from work. And if you don't think December is going to fly, just look at November and how quickly that came and went. So with this limited amount of time in this month, you want to get a head start on what January in 2026 is going to look like. And so I have this goal achieving sheet free to anybody that wants it. Email me, comment, whatever you need to do, text, and I'll get you this sheet so you can start mapping out your year. So what are we going to do with our 2026 goal? First, it's reflection and asking yourself some questions. And so where did you fail this year, or where do you think you're just failing in general in any bucket of life where you want to start putting some intentionality to it? Journal that stuff down, write it down, put it in the buckets on the sheet or on a notebook, Post-its, your computer, whatever method works for you. Get those questions written down. And it's not just failures, but it's successes. So if you're succeeding in something, how do you build momentum on that and go that much further than you went this year? Because momentum's a huge deal to make progress on your goals that feed the other buckets of your life. Some identity questions. Who are you trying to become? Are you trying to become a better leader, a better father, a better spouse? And then what are the goals that can surround about becoming that better identity? And then following the model of all goals, what, why, how? What is the goal? Why is it important? And how do you get there? For each goal, asking yourself, why is it important to you? Because if you're chasing it and there's no real strong why, the likelihood of you fading out on that goal is pretty high. And then the next thing I want to go through is the types of goals. So in the goal achieving model for mountain movers, there's two main types. There's consistency goals and stretch goals. And so consistency goals, those are the ones that you can achieve with the person you are today. You just got to keep showing up in order to get there. And so a classic example of a consistency goal would be reading a book a month. Chances are, if you're listening to this, you know how to read. So it's just showing up each day to get to that goal. Consistency goals and goal achieving have to be automatic because they're going to build into your stretch goals. And so your stretch goals, those are the goals that you cannot achieve with the person you are today, but with a lot of hard work and dedication, you'll get there. And so the classic example of a stretch goal in my journey is a marathon, 26.2 miles. Day one, when I set that goal, there was no chance I could do it that day. But with a training program and consistency and effort, I finally was able to get there by the end of the year. So what are your consistency goals and what are your stretch goals in the different buckets of your life? Then the last thing I want to cover is just accountability. You can't keep them up there and expect to win. Heck, you can't just keep it on this goal sheet and then put it off to the side and not look at it again. You need internal and external accountability. And it can't just stop at internal accountability, like, I got this, I'm going to do this. You need community. You need people around you to root you on and to hold you accountable. And so how do you find people that can be your accountability partners? So number one, do you know someone that is willing to call you out on the carpet and hold you accountable and say, man, you're screwing up, or you said you were wanting to become this person, you're not doing it? Ask that person. And then if you're setting a goal and you know somebody that's a high achiever in that goal, maybe for that specific goal, they can hold you accountable and share, like, hey, here's who I'm committing to do and who I'm committing to be this year. Can you walk alongside me and just check in with me once a month? Because the likelihood of you achieving your goals increases tremendously if you get them out of your head, onto paper, and then share with somebody else. And then if you set specific times to check in with each person, that likelihood even goes even higher. And there's a lot to be said about publicizing your goals, sharing it with people, not to brag, but then to hold some accountability that when that fire burns out midway through the year, you have the mechanisms in place to continue chasing after those goals. Finish strong, mountain movers, and I hope you have an awesome weekend of planning and relaxation.